Are you in any pain right now? Are you in any pain right now? A little bit?
Little bit.
Okay. Okay, I need you to look at me. I need you to calm down. I need you to breathe. There you go. Deep breaths. There you go. Very good. It's okay. It's all right.
Okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
Puerto Rico.
I'm gonna.
What is up, guys? Tyson Dela Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Today is Thursday, January 16th. We are just a few more days until Inaug Day. Shout out to everybody watching. If you're catching this on the live, what is up? What is up? We're going to go through a quick roll call here in a minute. But if you're catching this on the replay, type in replay in the comment section down below. Guys, I like that. I'm going to come. Oh, man. What is up, Rob? Rob in the house, my man. Sandra, Michael, what is going on? Hope everybody's doing amazing today. Amazing, amazing. We're going to jump into a few stories today. We got, you know, I'm not gonna bore you guys with the entire farewell address, but there's just a small portion that I'd like to share. Biden, guess what? Takes credit for the ceasefire deal. We already knew that that was going to happen. We have Scott Jennings' review on the farewell Oval Office speech debacle situation. And then we have some cyber security stuff going on and potential warnings for future stuff. Anyways, come on in. What is up? What is up? All right, let's jump into this. Let's jump into Joey B. Okay, ceasefire deal. Kudos, right? Guess what Joey B had to say? Listen to this.
Before I begin, let me speak to important news from earlier today. After 8 months of nonstop negotiation, by my administration, a ceasefire and a hostage deal has been reached by Israel and Hamas, the elements of which I laid out in great detail in May of this year. This plan was developed and negotiated by my team and will be largely implemented by the incoming administration.
What do you guys think about that? Okay. Do you remember Donald Trump went on, it was during a presser, and he said, there will be hell to pay. There will be hell to pay if they don't get this thing done before he gets into office. Rob says, 4 more days till daddy is home. 4 more days. He's coming home. What is up, Michelle? Hope you're doing amazing. Thanks for leaving. Don't look back. A disgrace to the human race. This administration has been absolutely horrible. His approval rating, I believe, is at like 37%. 37%, lower than Nixon. It's bananas. I can't even listen to him. That's what Bright Star says. Biden had nothing to do with any of this. It was all Trump. Where's this? I'm going to pull this up real quick. It was a clip, right? Let's see. This one right here.
Done with the people representing our hostages being held. And I'll just say it again. If this deal's not done with the people representing our nation, by the time I get to office, all hell is going to break out. Thank you very much.
All hell is going to break loose. Anyways, so it's interesting. Biden's speech filled with lies. I did a video on it last night. Nothing. You guys didn't miss anything. Continuous lies, blah, blah, blah. it was interesting how he talked about this oligarch situation and paying your fair share, all this other bull crap. I'm just totally glad that he's gone. I'm just glad that he's gone. Anyways, so CNN had reported this. Biden responds to a reporter questions about whether or not Trump should get some credit for the ceasefire. Joe Biden responds to a reporter whether Donald Trump should get credit for this. Me personally, he should get credit for this. But we know how Joey B is.
Basically, they will shape the future of Gaza. So basically,
The condition.
will be in the hands of the next administration. And basically, they will shape the future of Gaza. So how do you see this future? And also, how much credit do you give to the Trump team for this deal? Trump is already taking credit for it.
Well, this is the exact framework of the deal I proposed back in May. Exact. And we got the world to endorse it. Secondly, it's America's support for Israel that helped them badly weaken Hamas and its backers and create the conditions for this deal. And thirdly, I knew this deal would have to be implemented by the next team. So I told my team to coordinate closely with the incoming team to make sure we're all speaking with the same voice, because that's what American presidents do.
Okay. This is like, I don't know if any of you guys have been in a sales job, but there's appointment setters, there's, information gatherers, and then there's the closers. The people that set up appointments, that appointment set, all they do is set up appointments. Hey, you're confirmed for 9 a.m. at January 16th, 2025, 9 a.m. was said so-and-so and so-and-so. The person that actually does the appointment and closes the deal gets the credit and gets the commissions. Joe Biden, you just set up the appointment, okay? And he's going back and he's like, this is the exact same framework that we used back in March. Cool, but you didn't close the deal, bro. You didn't close the deal. You know who closed the deal? Big Don, BigDon.com. Sandra says, if Biden could have done it, would have been done a long time ago. Exactly. Phyllis says the difference between Donald Trump and Joey B is foreign leaders respect and fear the Big Don. No respect for Joey B. Yep, exactly. What a joke Joey Biden is. Absolutely. Oh, and don't forget to smash the like button if you kindly would, by the way. Trump, free the hostages. Free the hostages or all hell will break loose. Then he goes on. The Biden backed out of questions posed by Fox senior White House correspondent on Wednesday. Then he comes back to the podium, and the ceasefire situation comes during Biden's final days at office, less than a week before Trump takes his second term on January 20th, a recent meeting, blah, blah, blah. But listen to more Joey B. And look at Kamala's face in the back.
Thank you.
Folks, credit for this, Mr. President, you or Trump?
Is that a joke? Oh, thank you.
He said, is that a joke? No, we're serious. We're serious. We understand, and at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Ultimately, I'm glad that the deal got done. But the Dems are going to say that Joey B, again, the best thing since sliced Wonder Bread that doesn't expire or grow mold on it. Anyways. Then Netanyahu comes out and says, Prime Minister Netanyahu spoke this evening with U.S. President-elect BigDon.com and thanked him for his assistance in advancing the release of hostages and for helping Israel bring an end to suffering in dozens of hostages and families. This is Joey B's post by Cringy John Pierre today. After many months of intense diplomacy by the United States, he didn't write this. Along with Egypt, Israel, Hamas reaching a ceasefire hostage deal. At the end of the day, I'm glad that it's done. Alice says, Biden is a liar. He did nothing to help these people. Worst president ever. And that shows on his approval rating. 37% approval rating. Goodbye, Democrats, you suck. M says, I voted for a convicted felon who is out on bail for $200,000. The man I voted for was found liable for abuse and business fraud. I supported the same candidate as the January 6th rioters. Yep. Biden is the only joke I see. Absolutely. Most corrupt president in the United States history. Hunter Biden's paintings went up in flames in his LA home. Presumably millions of dollars of Hunter Biden paintings went up in flames. Good. Here is Scott Jennings talking about the total crap show that was Joe Biden's farewell speech.
I think the way he's leaving office has been, frankly,
What's up, artillery
pretty
man?
terrible. He's going to be remembered for a few things. But politically, it's mostly for when he was vice president, he and Obama sort of ushering in the Trump era initially. And then as he's leaving office as president, bringing back Trump and Trumpism stronger and more popular than ever. Today, Biden has like a 61% disapproval, and Trump is over a 50% approval and more popular, and his ideology is more popular than it's ever been. If everything you say is true, the Democrats should have had no trouble getting reelected in this election, yet they were.
It's an issue of a communications failure.
I know, and for Democrats, it's always been about communication and no introspection about the policies that led to him leaving office as one of the most unpopular presidents. When I watch this tonight, I remain astonished that he, his family, and other people around him thought he could ever run for another term. I mean, there's no way he could serve another 6 months, let alone another 4 years. The fact that they pursued that farce for as long as they did, to me, remains one of the most astonishing things about this term. So,
somebody had mentioned something in the comment section regarding he did amazing things for the middle class. I don't remember who that was. Obviously, Joe Biden did amazing things for the middle class. He wiped them off the map. He wiped middle class off. The Biden and Harris administration absolutely demolished the middle class with the crazy amounts of inflation and the unaffordability of housing and general necessities. And this is one of the main reasons why they lost the election. Stacy says, Beach Noodle Joe shouldn't be allowed to do anything else the last 4 days. Just sit in the basement, eat ice cream, and give him some crayons. Hopefully he doesn't eat the crayons, right? We only have 4 more days. Let's call it 4 days. Who knows what else is going to come out? Potential pardons. I don't know. I hope not. The 20th is Monday. All right. This is from BBC. We have been waiting a long time for Palestine reacts to ceasefire deal. Part of first phase of the deal takes effect January 19th. Forces to pull back in populated areas of Gaza, allowing displaced Palestinians to return to homes. Hundreds of aides will allow to be into territories each day. So this is absolutely great news. This is great news. I'm glad that the hostages are coming back. This is great news. This is coming out of BBC. Barbara says, I think there'll still be some more interference because the Dems want to stay relative. Yep. Stacy says, laugh my ass off. Joe did nothing except make the deep state rich and destroy the country. There's an interesting clip here that I had with Kevin O'Leary. He was like, how did Joe Biden get so rich? And then one of the panelists on CNN was like, oh, he wrote a book. No, you make like 5 cents off of book publications because publishers, take a lot of money for books. Joe Biden got rich for making backdoor deals.
Has made a difference one way or another.
Yeah, they don't want to deal with Trump. He's been perfectly clear. He has not vacillated about his message that if they don't send our people back, there's going to be hell to pay. And thank God he has been on that message and he has not wavered from it. He's not stepped back from it. And I don't really care, candidly, who the president is when all this happens. I just want him back. I mean, I've worn this yellow ribbon out here every night for over a year because I think there's so many families who are just devastated. They're hurting. They don't know what the situation is. And we need this to come to an end. There are Americans involved here. Look, I think we're going to end up paying a very heavy price in this deal. I'm sure some terrorists are probably going to wind up being let out of jails. I don't particularly like that. But to settle this, to get peace and to get our people back, I think it took Trump winning the election and being clear-eyed about it to make it happen.
Scott,
if you were Iran or any terrorist with any level of responsibility, what you have witnessed is that the Biden administration has tried to, at various points, put shackles on Israel. You can say they've been strong on it, but they have at times tried to put rhetorical and military shackles on Israel. There is no expectation that Trump would put shackles on anybody, and there is some expectation that he might just get involved himself if they don't send our people back. So I do think this was the essential element to getting this over the finish line, and I hope it happens right now. A great.
I do think Trump's comment really did help get this over the finish line. And a lot of you in the comments section are saying, "Hey, this is something that they don't want to deal with Trump. They don't want to deal with Trump. They know that they can bully and push around Joe Biden and the administration. Zelensky can ask for money all he wants." Justin says, my area had thousands without power today due to a system failure. No bad weather. Very interesting. You got the power back on, Justin? You got the power back on? Rob says, none of our tax dollars should be going to any country other than ours in the United States. 100%. It's super gross to me. It is very gross and disgusting to me that a lot of people are still without power. They're still without homes in North Carolina. People are living in tents in the middle of winter. And then he approves, okay, California gets $770. A couple days before that, he approves another X million dollars to Zelensky. It's disgusting. You're right, Rob. None of our money should be going to any other country aside from us. Where's this Kevin O'Leary clip here? Oh, here it is.
Things about concentration of wealth.
I
think so. No. Remember she said,
I agree.
We have Trump coming and all the bad things about concentration of wealth. Americans appreciate the ability to pursue the American dream every day, and we do not push down on success ever. So, yes, Musk is rich. So what? Zuck,
I don't think
rich,
the issue is how rich
and everybody else comes to this country almost drowning in rivers or getting cut under barbed wires to get in here to pursue their dream. Why do we ever think that we should bash their success?
Actually,
what do you think about
actually, I want you to get it, but let me just say this. It is not about how rich they are.
Exactly.
Just to observe what he's
They're not
talking
rich
about here.
enough, is that what you're saying?
No. I'm saying that actually what got them there, Mark Zuckerberg, Sam Altman, Jeff Bezos, they all got to where they are because they came up with good ideas. They built big, good businesses.
Let's punish them.
And no. And they did so largely without having to do what they are doing now. The fact that they have to do it now, I think, actually is a change for them. They were not going to Washington themselves groveling toward the political leaders to try to keep their businesses afloat.
Letting people get rich. It's about not letting rich people control the political process and not having our politicians captured by those rich people such that they can't institute
but I just want you to
regulation
know the country
and common sense laws to make sure that the people at the top don't abuse the people at the bottom. And our system in Washington is broken.
That's fair. It's all fair, but half the country's still wondering how Joe Biden got rich.
Yeah, okay, so here's...
How did he get rich?
But if Joe Biden got rich...
How did he get rich? Does anybody understand how that happened?
I think that, Kevin, your question about Joe Biden's legacy and how he will be seen is actually extremely important.
He said he wrote a book, by the way. No, you don't get rich off of writing a book, okay? Your Amazon reviews and your Barnes & Noble reviews don't get you rich. Books don't get you rich, okay? You make less, you make like 5 cents, 10 cents off of each book purchase. Publishers take a lot. You don't get rich off of writing a book, okay? Going rogue says it's pure money laundering by the left, stealing in our faces. Yep, and this is what is going on. They are sending money to circulate it back in some form or another when they get back in, if they get back in power. But it is pure, and I'm going to say this for the YouTubes, it is presumably money laundering, right? Terry says other channels I noticed have fact-checked the hell out of Biden's address as well. Every single line was a fact check, talking about oligarchs, talking about people paying their fair share. At this point, it is almost ridiculous to even talk about it, but I got to talk about it because it happened yesterday. But what else do you expect from this man? What else do you expect? You can't expect nothing else from this guy. Stacy says California 770,000, North Carolina, or 770 per household is what they received. North Carolina, not all got the offered 750. Some only got 300, and they have to pay it back. Does California? I'm not sure if the $770 from California is a loan, but I discovered about 2 weeks ago that the $750 that the individuals per household received in North Carolina from the hurricane, from that relief aid, is a loan. It is a loan. What? Big spenders over here, guys. Johnny Sunglasses, Biden gave Cheney and Soros medals. If that isn't a deep state puppet, I don't know what is. Yep, Liz Cheney, Soros, they all got medals. Let's see. Okay. All right. Now, we got to talk about this here. I talked about this a little bit yesterday. But Justice Department and FBI conduct internal operations to delete malware used by China-backed hackers. The Justice Department and FBI today announced multi-month law enforcement operation along internal partners deleting Plug X malware from thousands of infected computers worldwide. Now, there was some reports that some cyber hackers hacked into the Pentagon, and this has been going on for a very long time. The Department of Justice prioritized proactively disrupting cyber threats to protect the U.S. victims and harm. These cyber attacks have been going on for a little over a year now. Wide-ranging attacks long-term infected thousands of Windows-based browsers, including many home computers in the United States. Demonstrates the reckless and aggressive PRC state-sponsored hackers. So the PRC is, I believe, Mustang It is a cyber attack group, the Mustang somethings or the other. But this is a report that came out directly from justice.gov. They are looking to figure out where these hackers are coming from, how to remove the malware from multiple computers. This is crazy. This is crazy stuff going on. Chinese typhoons hacker prepare for war. The cybersecurity risks facing in the United States today, few loom larger than potential sabotage capabilities posed by China-based hackers, which senior U.S. national security officers have described as a threat. U.S. says Chinese government-backed hackers have, in some cases, have been doing this for years, been burrowing deep into the networks of U.S. critical infrastructures, including water, energy, and transportation providers. This comes also at the cusp of the DJI. DJI drones just opened up. They're a manufacturer of drone and microphone and camera equipment, predominantly known for drones. They just opened up an unrestricted fly zone, so you're able to fly your DJI drone in these presumably unrestricted fly zones. Not to say that if you fly it over an airport, the airport's going to shut it down. But before they used to have boundaries, and now it doesn't have boundaries. The goal of officials say is to lay the groundwork for potential destructive cyber attacks in the event of future conflict between China and the United States. China hackers have been positioning on American infrastructure in preparing to wreak havoc and cause real-world harm to American citizens and communities. This came out. This is via TechCrunch. This came out. When did this come out? This came out a couple days ago. So this was first published in October 2024, but these cyber attacks or these cyber situations have been going on for a while. Let me just run through some of these comments here. Nothing can't be undone. Let's see. Joe Biden is nothing but a over-glorified narcissist. Yep, I agree. Now, then we have this. Director Rath, on his way out, warns the administration about potential attacks. FBI Director Christopher Wray stepping down. We all knew that nearly 3 years early because President-elect Trump is replacing him. Rath terms long political thought. The greatest long-term threat facing our country, in my view, represents by the people, the Republic of China, Chinese government, which has infiltrated a lot of our internet structure. This kind of goes hand in hand with the TikTok situation too, with the TikTok ban. I don't know if you guys are familiar or privy with TikTok. TikTok is a social media application, presumably through the rights of TikTok. When you use TikTok, it has the ability to see passwords and keystrokes, and it is a China-based app. And the algorithm is very, very specific. There have been floats around that Elon was going to purchase TikTok. I don't think that is likely. I don't think that the purchase from Elon is going to be very likely. But they can see your keystrokes. They can see these specific things that happen when you're on the TikTok application. And the Chinese company feeds an algorithm differently to each user. So Americans see different than what Chinese folks see it. Jason says Monday cannot come far or quick enough. Excuse me. Not a troll inside. Yeah, there was some yesterday. I don't mind the trolls. FBI found about Chinese penetration in U.S. cyber infrastructure. This is crazy. This is one of the concerning things that have been coming out over the past couple days, past couple weeks, specifically leading up to the inauguration. I'm not sure, how they're going to navigate through this process, and there are still freaking drones flying around everywhere. It's foolish to develop a second system offline. It's foolish not to develop a second system offline used in the event of an attack. I agree. And they have millions and millions of dollars to do so and to create this, but they're too busy. They're too busy doing other things. They're too busy locking up grannies, locking up parents from PTA meetings. They're too busy doing other stuff versus setting up a secondary system that's unhackable or untraceable or whatever the situation is. Thomas says, just remember, everyone, that even when turned off, your phone is always transmitting, and every wireless device is subject to being hacked, even in a remote vacuum. Good point, Thomas. Good point. Good point. This comes out of the Hill here. FBI, DHS warn of possible copycat efforts. I talked about this a few days ago following the New Orleans attacks. All these ads, man. Federal law enforcement is asked the public to remain vigilant as they warn possible copycat similar to New Orleans. The FBI and DHS concerned about possible copycat attacks, previous attacks inspired by foreign terrorist organizations who have conducted vehicle attacks in the United States and abroad have rented and stolen personally owned vehicles. So they are on the lookout. They are on the lookout. Excuse me. This comes after the situation in New Orleans with that individual killing 14 folks off of Bourbon Street. This is just a fair warning to, I think, the United States, right? I'm excited for Monday because I know Donald Trump said on Monday, after Monday, he's going to initiate all these executive orders. Then he's going to release what's going on with the drone information if the Biden administration didn't do so, and they haven't, and they probably won't. So he's going to release what's going on with the drone situation. Jason says Android's phone is actually off when turning off, not iPhone. Just the screens turn off. Yep. Rob, I'm a master troll. I'm a master troll wrecker. Well done, my man. Well done, Johnny Sunglasses said. Yeah, absolutely well done. Yeah, all these situations are just a fair warning on what, fingers crossed. I pray nothing happens, but all this information is very it's concerning. It's concerning, especially because if you think about what you guys said earlier in the chat, that if anybody was going to do something with the current administration in power right now, would be a potential opportunity to do that, because nobody respects the current administration. This is also from The Guardian. FBI warns potential copycat attacks. I hope that this does not happen. I really, really do not. But I know there have been a lot of information coming out of these particular newscasts. I know, obviously, The Guardian, The Hill, BBC, they're not the most reliable sources, and they spread some they elaborate on a lot of things, but these are just some things to be on the lookout, especially as we're rolling into Monday. Stephanie says he should revoke every dollar and bill that noodled past and tell Ukraine they need to pay back the money that they gave him. Yep. I agree. Yep. Now, I want to get into some lighter news here. This is not necessarily political based, but it was a great story that I saw and I wanted to share it with you guys. So, this is the moment when Rocky was being loaded into DPS chopper. Rocky is a U.S. Marshal K-9 who was shot after he sniffed a suspect in a dumpster and was expected to survive, is being called a hero. The reason why I bring this up is because it's German Shepherd. I have a German Shepherd, so I thought it was a cool story. Rocky ended up surviving. Let me just pull this up here. U.S. Marshal K-9 is in stable condition following Southwest Houston shootout on a manhunt. Look at this guy. What a stud. What a stud, okay? U.S. Marshal K-9, who found an accused killer of law enforcement officer hiding in a dumpster Wednesday afternoon, is in stable condition after suffering several gunshot wounds during the incident. Wednesday morning, local officials and state police launched miles-long manhunt in Southwest Houston of a man accused of killing Jesus Vargas, a 17-year veteran of the sheriff's office. So, I don't know. I just thought this was a little heartfelt story. The dog is in stable condition, so, yeah, anyways. Just a little side note off of politics and things like that. Anyways, let me jump in through some of these chats here. Let me make sure I got everybody's chats. Justin says, I was sick right after Christmas and just taken down my tree. You know, I got sick after Christmas too. I actually got sick on December 25th. I got horribly sick. I don't know. I don't often get sick very frequently. I don't get sick much. And I was nauseous, head was foggy, but it only lasted a day. I jumped in the sauna, and I basically like sweated out. I make this little ginger concoction with ginger, cayenne, honey, and I just sweat that mofo out. Will says, you can always tell when Democrats are lying, their lips move. Oh, man. Stacey says, I can't when it comes to fur babies. Absolutely. Dogs are amazing. I love dogs. But yeah. Justin, I hope you're feeling better. Yep. Awesome. Jason says, listen to the experienced and expert, not your DEI therapist. Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. Before we jump on out of here, I want to give a huge shout out to the moderators in the chat, the moderators trolling, getting rid of the trolls, excuse me. So shout out to all the moderators in the chat. And I want to give a huge shout out to everybody catching this on the live. Shout out to everybody catching us on the live. We have a really good community here. This community couldn't be possible without you guys. If you want to connect more with the community, there is a link to the Discord group in the description down below. We interact, we exchange videos and memes and and information. Really, really cool community. So shout out to everybody there. If you're catching this on the replay, type in replay in the comment section. And I'd love to know your thoughts if you're catching this on the replay about Joe Biden's final farewell speech, his attempt to take credit for the ceasefire deal, and any information that you have or any thoughts that you may have on the potential cyber threats looming. I'll catch you guys later on today. Drop your comments down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. We'll chat soon, guys.